On this episode of Street Rat Garage, we are back again with the 2021 Jeep Wrangler Sport, and we're going to do some upgrades. So what we have here in these two boxes are running boards and a trailer hitch so we can pull our boat around. So if you recall the last video we made with this, it was just an overview of the vehicle. This is the newest vehicle that I have ever bought. Actually, I did buy one vehicle brand new, but this is the second newest vehicle I have ever bought. And well, it's gonna need some upgrades. It is a 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport. And there's no options on it. It is as stock and as plain as you can get one. So this vehicle was from the dealership. It was used, but the dealership was the one who was using it. So for a couple of years, they just used it for business trips and showing off the truck. So it's basically a new truck with a few miles on it. And yeah, they didn't do anything to it because why would they? So what we have in this box are running boards and the trailer hitch. So we're gonna unbox this. Actually, we'll do the trailer hitch first since it's gonna be easier. So let's unbox the trailer hitch, have a look. We'll unbox this too and see how many parts we have. But yeah, it's gonna be a day. All right, let's start with the steps, I guess. We're just gonna open up this box and we're gonna see just how many pieces we are going to be working with. All right. That out of the way. Let's pull these out. Oh, these are heavy. Wow, I wasn't expecting them to be quite as heavy as they are. Let me unwrap them and then we'll come back and have a look. Well, it is pretty well packaged up. It's got these like little end caps on it and little socks on it and more rubber pieces on the pointy bits. We have our hardware and we have our instructions. So I think we are about ready to get started. All right, so I got all the hardware out, which there's not a whole lot of hardware. This is for both sides. And there's like 12 of these and 6 of these, couple of these, washers and lock nuts. But I am missing 2 of these 8mm flat washers. So yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these bolts. That should correspond with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of course, of the flat washers, and they're not here. Got all of these. There's 12. Got all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So yeah, well, we're missing a couple. Fortunately, I have that big box of nuts and bolts and washers and stuff that everybody has, and we'll just have to hunt through there and find a couple more. So a little disappointed, but I guess it happens. So let's get to putting this on. Okay, so the good part about putting new parts on a newish Jeep is everything is pretty clean and rust free and not full of dirt. The bad part is I'm doing this by myself and this is already getting heavy. So, but we have 2 holes. We have holes. This is going to go right in the factory holes and just sort of bolt up there. So we got these 2 holes here that are going to go right there. Then we got a couple more. I mean, it's just a simple, straightforward bolt in there. There's nothing to do. Just stick a few bolts in and done. Now, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get a jack that's holding up the other end of this that you can't see, but it is. So this all doesn't fall down. And we're going to throw a couple 6mm bolts in here. That seems a little small to me, but I guess that's what you need to go through there and secure. But the 6mm are not what's really holding the step on. Don't forget the washer. This is really a 2-person job, but yeah, I don't have 2 people. I have 1 person, and that's gonna have to be enough. So just a little 6mm through there. Like I was getting ready to say, the 6mm are not what's holding the step on. There are a lot bigger bolts that go up underneath into the body that are going to be holding this on. This is just sort of holding it too tight on the pinch weld here. So pretty much like that. And then we'll tighten this up. I'm going to finish the rest of these. Can you see me? Was that in the way the whole time? I'm not doing that over. So anyway, that's the jack that I'm using to help me. But yeah, let me finish putting these bolts on, and I'll explain what I did, and we'll see how it looks. It's pretty easy. Okay, I got all the bolts in, and they're still loose. I haven't tightened anything up, but this is what it's going to look like, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is. So there's 1, 2 bolts there, the same 2 bolts down here, and then on the underneath side there's 1 here. I haven't tightened this one up yet. 1 here and another one back there. So 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So that's all the bolts that there are to put on these steps, and these are thick, and it also has this slider guard underneath of it. So if you're out on a trail and you hit a rock, this is going to protect the underneath of your Jeep. Going to protect your rocker panels. It's got two bars right here to protect all of this right in here. Well, plus that one too. But yeah, nice and protected, super thick and heavy, and I can't complain. Quadratech, which they're not a sponsor. I bought these myself, and I was wrong. I wasn't missing the washers. They went for the others. I thought they were backwards, so I'm wrong. These 4 go over here, and the 6 went on this one. So my bad. I was wrong, and I'm willing to admit I was wrong. All right, I am just gonna tighten all of these up, and we'll step back, have a look, and see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good myself. Okay, so there it is. I just tightened up those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts, and yeah, that was it. My tent's in a way because it's hot and sunny out here. So yeah, that's all there is to put in on a running board on one of these vehicles. That is super simple. If I wasn't filming, it would have taken me about 10 minutes, so it took me twice as long because I had to show you guys, and I don't mind that. So I'm gonna put the other side on, and then we'll get started on the hitch. Okay, that is it. The running boards are on. Let's pick up the rest of this debris, and they are rock solid and ready to go to protect us on-road and off-road, which probably not going off-road, but at least I'll look good on-road. So next up is the hitch. So I'm gonna take a quick break and get something to eat. Then we'll start putting the hitch on, and then we'll have an overview of everything. All right, I am back, and the next thing we have is the hitch. So we have our instructions right here and our hitch right here. So this is pretty basic and straightforward, and if you're wondering why this isn't one of those big hitches with you know, the crossbar and the teed in section, well, it's not needed. On these, the main bar is already tied into the frame. It has a big square tube that goes in between the frame rails with holes in it to mount one of these. So this just happened not to come with it because it's a stripped down model, but this is not a factory piece, but this is identical to the factory thickness and the holes that go right there. So the holes are already drilled in the cross member, and we have the hardware. We only have 4 bolts and the bracket that holds the wiring in. That's it. All we have to do is put that up there, put bolts in, and we're done. I'll show you the cross member real quick. All right, so if we have a look underneath of here, see this this big cross member? It's not bolted in. These are just bolts that hold the hook in, but it's welded here. This is a frame. This is a cross member. It goes all the way to the other side. Now, as we can see, there's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. The same as in our hitch. So all that we have to do is put that hitch right up here, bolt it down, and it's done. And it's completely tied into the frame, nice and solid. So yeah, it's so easy working on the newer Jeeps. I don't know why people don't do it more themselves. Super easy. Okay, here we go. Here's our hitch. Here's our bolt. We put it up here. We slide this one in from the back. All the way through. All the way through. Oh, it has a nut welded on the other side of the bracket, so we have something to bolt it into. So there's two bolts welded on the back, and then the other 2 are lock nuts. So this is the one we slide all the way through. Then we grab this one and slide it all the way through on the other side. And this one does the same. It threads into the opposite end with a nut welded on. So now I tighten them up, and oh, don't forget to put the bracket on. Don't forget the bracket. It goes over here like that, if you can see that. I'll bring you in here so you can see a little bit better. So this little bracket right here, the wiring just clips into the bottom of this guy right here. So it's got a little tab that faces inward, alignment tab that slips right there, and you put your washer on the back, or your washer, you put a washer, put the nylon lock nut on, and then you're good to go. This is what I was talking about, the nut welded on the back of this bracket. So these 2 just slide in, these 2 screw in to the back of that right there. And then these 2, one here and this guy over here, get the little nylon lock washer, and even a lock nut as well, or lock nut and lock washer. So I'm going to grab a couple tools, I'm going to tighten this down, and we'll have a look. All right, time to bolt it all together. It takes a 18 and a 19, which I don't have a 19 in an open end because mine here at the garage, well, it only goes up to 18. So a 19 is one of those that is big enough you can just use an adjustable on it, and it just doesn't matter. So you don't have to worry about slippage on a nut that is that big. So I mean, basically all you have to do is tighten these down and you're done. So it's no big deal. I already tightened down the other 3. So I'm just gonna hammer this one last nut down, and we will be ready to have a look at it. I mean, it's just that easy. It's done. It's like another, I don't know. This got to be, if you didn't read the instructions and just knew how to put it together, it's like 5 minutes at the most. I mean, it's just that easy. There we go. All right, let's have a look at this. Okay, there she is. The hitch is installed and looking good. It actually says that you should wax the hitch. So it's got the shiny paint on it, so they want you to have a little extra protection on there. So there's our hitch, and there is our side steps. So we've got the Quadratech side steps and the hitch receiver. So yeah, that's looking a lot more like a Jeep should look like. Now we got our hitch on there, we can tow our boat. We got our steps on there, so the short people we have can have an easier time getting in the vehicle. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it before in the last video, but I did change this antenna. It had the big chrome, stainless steel, whatever antenna on it. That was kind of ugly. And we put this nylon cover on there, which I don't like the nylon. It just, the wrinkles never come out. So it's been sitting in the sun and they just have not come out at all. Did that. And then inside we put the, they're not WeatherTechs, but they're Auto Life 3W floor mats in it. That one's a little bit dirty because somebody's been sitting in the back, and well, you can't see it real good, but there's a mat back there too for the trunk because we haul a bunch of stuff around all the time. So was there one more? The antenna, the floor mats. I thought I had something else. I can't remember. Oh, that's not the right key. But the other key has a little cover over it, a red cover that goes on it, and 2 ducks. So what is up with the ducks? Anyway, that is it for now. So wheels and tires are probably be next. Some better rims, some better tires on there to get rid of that sort of plain Jane look. Then maybe a bumper and a winch mounted on the front of there, and maybe the back bumper later. So but if you know any other good modifications for this, just hit me up. What about the grill? Should we do the grill? Should we do the tires next? I think we definitely should do the tires next on this, but it's getting there slowly but surely. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rag Garage. Until next time.